let me ask you something. Have you ever tried to improve your life, but you kept stopping and starting again? Maybe you wanted to learn English every day or exercise or read or build a new skill. But after a few days, the motivation disappeared and everything went back to the old way. This feels frustrating, and sometimes it even hurts our confidence. We begin to think there is something wrong with us, or that we are lazy or weak. But what if the problem is not you at all? What if you simply did not have a system that supports you every day in a calm and realistic way? In this episode, we talk about daily practice consistency and a simple system that makes it easier than you think. By the end of this video, you will understand how to build a routine that feels light, natural, and possible, even when you are tired or busy. You will learn how small actions, done every day, can create powerful results in your language skills, your habits, and even your life direction. Stay with me until the end, because this episode is not only about learning English, it is also about becoming the kind of person who shows up every day and grows a little bit, step by step. And if this lesson gave you something useful, I'd love it if you tapped like and subscribe to the channel. It helps you stay connected, and it also helps this little learning community grow. Every click really does make a difference. With love, let's dive in. Why is inconsistency such a common problem? The reason inconsistency feels painful is because we want change, but we cannot see progress. When we start something new, we feel excited, we feel hopeful. But after a few days, that feeling of excitement becomes smaller and real life becomes louder. Our energy drops, our schedule becomes full, or we simply forget. For many learners, this happens with English. They practice for 1 week, then stop for 2 weeks. They begin again and stop again. This cycle makes progress slow and it destroys motivation. Inconsistency also brings something more dangerous: self-doubt. When we stop, we start telling ourselves negative stories. We say, "I never finish anything," or "I am not disciplined enough," or "maybe I will never improve." These thoughts make us feel weak, even if they are not true. The truth is simple. Humans are not designed to stay consistent with big, heavy goals. Our brain likes things that feel easy and close, not difficult and far away. So inconsistency is not a personal failure. It is simply a reminder that we need a different method, a method that works with our brain, not against it. Why do big goals fail even when we want them? Big goals fail because they feel too heavy. When a person decides they will study English for 2 hours every day, or go to the gym every morning, or change many habits at once, the energy requirement becomes too large. The brain looks at that goal and says, "This is too much. Let's do it later." And later becomes never. So people think they failed because of willpower, but actually they failed because the goal was not designed in a gentle and realistic way. Another reason big goals fail is because results take time. When people do not see fast progress, they lose excitement. For example, when you learn English, you do not become fluent in 1 week. When you exercise, your body does not change in 2 days, so the brain becomes bored and motivation disappears. The solution is not more pressure. The solution is smaller steps, repeated daily. This is the key to my simple system. Small, consistent actions that feel light, but grow powerful over time. What is the 1% rule, and how can it change everything? The 1% rule means improving just a tiny amount every day. 1% sounds small, maybe even too small, But when you improve by 1% every day, something amazing happens. These small improvements multiply, and in a few months, you are completely different from where you began. Think of it like learning 5 new English words a day. After 1 day, only 5 words. But after 30 days, that is 150 words. After a year, that is 1,800 words, just from a simple daily habit. The 1% rule changes your mindset. You stop thinking, I have to be perfect right now. Instead, you think, I just need a small step today. This removes pressure. It removes fear. You do not wait for motivation. You simply do your tiny action. And because the action is small, you can do it even on busy days, tired days, or difficult days. This is how change becomes easy and how consistency becomes natural. When you understand this rule, you begin to realize that success is not about giant moves. Success is about gentle daily progress that never stops. How does daily consistency feel different from motivation? Motivation is a feeling. It goes up and down. Sometimes you wake up inspired and sometimes you wake up tired. Motivation cannot be trusted. It is like the weather, always changing. Consistency is different. Consistency is a system. You do something every day, not because you feel motivated, but because it is a part of your routine. It becomes normal, like brushing your teeth or having coffee in the morning. Daily consistency feels lighter than motivation. When you rely on motivation, you wait for the perfect moment. But with consistency, you take action even in small ways. You might study English for only 5 minutes, and that is still a win. You might read a short article or listen to a podcast while cooking. These actions keep the habit alive and keep your progress moving slowly forward. When you understand the difference between motivation and consistency, you stop waiting to feel ready. You simply begin every day with whatever you can do. What is your non-negotiable 5 minutes, and why is it powerful? The non-negotiable 5 minutes is the minimum action you promise to do every day. It is so small that your brain cannot reject it. For example, you can read 5 minutes of English or write 3 sentences in a journal or watch a short lesson. The purpose is not to do something big. The purpose is to stay connected to the habit. When you do your 5 minutes, you teach your mind. I show up every day. Sometimes those 5 minutes will turn into 10 or 20 because starting makes it easier to continue. But even if it stays at 5, that is still success. This idea protects you on busy days, stressful days, or low energy days. Instead of saying, I failed because I did nothing, you say, I succeeded because I did my small step. This keeps your confidence alive. And when confidence stays alive, consistency becomes stronger. How does habit stacking make daily practice easier? Habit stacking means connecting a new habit to a habit you already have. For example, if you drink coffee every morning, you can promise to read English for 5 minutes while drinking your coffee. If you go to bed every night, you can promise to listen to English for 5 minutes before sleeping. When a habit is linked to something familiar, your brain remembers it automatically. Habit stacking removes the need to plan, think, or decide. It becomes simple. And simple habits are the ones that stay. Many successful learners do this without even noticing. They connect English to their daily routines, like driving to work, cooking dinner, or walking outside. When your habit is attached to your routine, it becomes easier than ever to stay consistent. How do you create an environment that supports your goals? Your environment matters. If your goal is to study English but your phone is full of distractions, your brain will choose the easiest option. So you must design your environment to make your habit simple. You can place a notebook on your desk. You can save a playlist of English podcasts. You can keep a vocabulary list open on your phone. When the tools are ready, the action becomes smaller and lighter. Another helpful idea is removing friction. Friction means anything that makes the habit more difficult. If you need to search for resources every time, you will feel tired. If you need to choose what to study, you lose time. Remove friction by preparing your materials. Add cues, like reminders or visual signs. These small environmental changes create a friendly space for daily learning. When the environment supports you, consistency becomes natural. What should you do when you miss a day? Missing a day does not break your journey. It only becomes a problem when you stop completely. That is why a useful idea is the 2-day rule. If you miss one day, do not allow yourself to miss 2 days in a row. The next day, return to your 5 minutes. This rule keeps your progress alive and removes guilt. Sometimes life becomes busy, and that is normal. But when you return quickly, the habit survives. Many learners fail because they miss a day and feel ashamed. Shame makes them avoid the habit, and the cycle begins again. Instead, be kind to yourself. Say, "I am human and I can continue." This mindset builds mental strength. Success is not about being perfect. Success is about coming back again and again, even after you fall. How can you deal with procrastination and resistance? Procrastination is not about being lazy. It is usually about fear or pressure. When something feels too big, we delay it. That is why the small minimum step is important. When you only need 5 minutes, there is no pressure. You can also make the habit more fun. Some people enjoy gamification, like tracking streaks, earning points, or checking off a calendar. This gives the brain a small reward, and rewards help habits grow. Accountability also helps. When you tell someone your goal or study with a partner, you feel more responsible. But even if you study alone, you can still celebrate your progress quietly. Every small action counts. Every day you show up, even with low energy, you are winning the battle against resistance. How can you increase your practice slowly and safely? When the habit becomes comfortable, you can gently increase the time. You might move from 5 minutes to 10 minutes. Later, maybe 15 minutes. The key is slow growth, not sudden pressure. If you force yourself to jump to a difficult level, your brain will resist. But if the change feels small and natural, your mind accepts it. Some learners choose 1 day a week for a longer practice session. Others like to add small challenges, like learning new vocabulary or writing longer sentences. The goal is to enjoy the journey. When practice feels like a peaceful routine, not a heavy responsibility, you will continue for a long time. What happens when consistency becomes a lifestyle? When you practice every day, even in small ways, English becomes a part of your life. You do not need motivation. You do not need big discipline. The habit lives inside your daily rhythm. You begin to notice progress. Your listening becomes clearer. Your speaking becomes more natural. Your vocabulary grows. You start to think in English more easily because the language is always present in your mind. This is the silent power of consistency. It changes you from the inside. Other people will see results later, but you will feel the change first. You will feel more confident, more capable, and more proud. Small actions create huge transformation, but only when they are repeated every day. How does consistency in one area influence your whole life? When you learn consistency in English, something interesting happens. The habit spreads. You begin to feel stronger, so you apply consistency to other goals. You drink more water. You exercise. You read. You wake up earlier. You begin to trust yourself. You say, if I can stay consistent with English, I can stay consistent with anything. This confidence is more important than the habit itself. It becomes the foundation of personal growth. Consistency teaches patience. It teaches discipline. It teaches balance. You learn that results are not overnight. They are built slowly with love and repetition. And when you understand this, you are not afraid of big dreams anymore, because you know how to take small daily steps toward them. What is the final piece of this simple system? The final piece is self-respect. When you show up every day, even for 5 minutes, you are saying, my goals matter, my growth matters, my future matters. You stop waiting for the perfect moment. You stop waiting for motivation. You take gentle action. And gentle action builds strong identity. You become the kind of person who does not quit. You become a learner, not just a dreamer. This is how daily practice consistency works. It is not difficult. It is not painful. It is not a fight. It is a peaceful rhythm. A calm routine, a quiet promise to yourself. And when you keep that promise, even in small ways, your life begins to change. What do you gain if you begin today? If you begin today, even with the smallest step, you begin a new chapter. Imagine yourself after 30 days of daily English practice. Imagine after 6 months. Imagine after 1 year, your skills will grow, your confidence will rise, and your identity will feel stronger. You will look back and say, I did this. I showed up every day, and that feeling is worth everything. So ask yourself, what is your 5 minutes today? Read, listen, write, or speak. It does not matter how small it is. What matters is that you begin, and you return tomorrow, and the next day, and the next. That is how daily consistency is born. That is how progress becomes real. And that is how you grow, not only in English, but in life. And if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss the next lesson. Your support means so much. It keeps this space alive and growing with love. Thank you for being here, and I can't wait to continue this journey with you.